Hey there, lads and lasses. This here is Thunder here, and 64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States. Here it is, just coming up on 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that can only mean that it is time for a little buffoonery on the Buffooncraft SMP. And so, that being said, we have a lot of work to do today. And Princess Nebula has just subscribed for another 8. Excuse me. See, Nebs, I'm all choked up here. 18 months. Thank you so much for that sub. And I am so very pleased to see you. It was good to see you on Kai's stream today. So, a year and a half. Woohoo! That deserves so much more than a shout out, but a shout out is what we're going to do right now. Gonna try anyway. I think that'll do it, right? And there it is. So, Nebs, we got to get caught up because it's been a while. I mean, we've messaged each other back and forth a couple of times, but I've been traveling. You've been busy with stuff, so I think I'm coming back this weekend. I am going to try. Great. I mean, if you're not ready, you're not ready. But if you are, that's going to be awesome because we have missed you dearly. So whenever Nebs is ready to resume streaming, if she does, definitely viewers, go check her out. You will not be disappointed. Fellow buffoon on the Buffooncraft server, incredible builder in her own right, with her own realm and her own server and her own worlds. Has been a guest on Generations many times. We go back, so definitely check her out. So, Nebs, that being said, shall we get on with the buffoonery? Oh, and it looks like Chris and Shut Mountain are on right now, too, so. I know Chris is streaming right now, so. Wow, I'm hoping this is going to be able to load. Oh, come on, Chunks, please load. Okay, little system, you can do this. You can handle this now. Yay for all the buffoonery. My sentiments exactly. Okay, Chunks. Please do the loading thing. Okay, there they go. They're all loading in. What's my render distance at right now? 16 chunks. Okay, that's not too bad. Smooth lighting is max. That's not good. That should probably be minimum for now. Particles all, yeah, I guess we'll keep the particles on because sometimes I need to see them to verify that things are working the way they should be. Okay. Alrighty, so this is what we're going to be doing today, people. We're going to be working on the bottom half here of our circle. I think I have enough resources gathered. I went on earlier today and generated a whole bunch of sea pickles, a whole bunch of stone, a whole bunch of bone meal. And so I'm hoping I can get the whole bottom half of this circle done during this stream. I think I can. And let's see. It's been a while since I've watched a lot of streams. I'm lost on what people have been up to. Well, you've come to the right place. So you were in Kai's stream earlier this morning. I saw that. So you got to see what she's up to. Got to see a little bit of what I'm up to. And so this is where I'm at right now. And we've got our little support village over here. The Lost Foundry, I guess is what I'm calling it now. And there's a whole bunch going on at Spawn Town. Oh my God. I went away for 3 weeks on a vacation to Taiwan, and I came back last week, and this isn't just for Nebs, this is for the other viewers too who haven't seen what we're up to, a little bit of an update. And so I just came back and I've resumed building, and so much has changed. The buffoons just build at a staggering rate. So this is kind of cool. The sun's about to go down right now, and so we'll get to see some of the glow effect on this. um, that I've been working on. And you could see the glow of the sea pickles come up through the slabs of quartz and andesite and stuff. And the effect looks pretty cool. I think it does anyway. And so we've got a lot of sea pickles to put down today. I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm going to see if I can get some of the quartz and andesite set in for the circle down below. But I know I'm hoping I can get at least all of the sea pickles in place. And there is Draken. Tiny One says hi. Hello, Tiny One. Hello. I'll also have everybody know that Kachi came home yesterday from Taiwan, Kachi and Mrs. T. And so this Sunday we will be hosting our first Kachi time in quite some time. And somebody we have not seen in our stream as a viewer in quite some time, the mighty Toes for Life. Toes, how have you been? I hope you've been well. Let's see here. Let's do this. Let's get that back up. And let's glide on down. I think enough of the... Ooh, the lag. The lag is real, people. Ooh, that lag is tough. All right. I think some of these chunks will load in. All right, so I've been running the sea pickle generator all morning. And how have we been doing? Okay, we've got like 2.5 chests here. All right, I'm going to load up some the rest of this bone meal here, and then I'm going to head out and start setting down the pickles. Been a while. Seen you grown. Not like my body has grown, right? The stream, hopefully, because I think I've actually shrunk about a half an inch in my old age. Spinal compression and all. I've been well. Glad to hear it. Is this the same world? Well, this is Buffooncraft. And so Thursdays 4 to 6, we stream Buffooncraft with the Buffooncraft server and all the fellow buffoons. And so I opted out of season 3, I mean, and now we're into season 4, so I'm back with Buffooncraft. Generations is Tuesday, usually from noon to 2. Okay, we still got plenty of sea pickles here. I'm going to stash... I'm going to stash this stuff here for right now. Yeah, let's offload quite a bit of this stuff, actually. I'm going to put this stuff right there, and then I'm going to store all the rest of this stuff over here. But Toes, so good to see you, man. So good. Glad to hear you're doing well. All right, let's do that. All right, we've emptied enough of our inventory there. So this world, we've been, Season 4 started back in... I'm going to say, I think it was March. I think it was March that we started. And let me see here. This is Buffooncraft Season 4. And good Lord. They're all coming out of the woodwork today. If it isn't the mighty J-Mo the Schmo. J-Mo, how are you doing? Howdy, neighbor. How's things going eastward of me right now? J-Mo, I haven't seen you in quite some time. I have been traveling, so I just got back last week. And long overdue for a visit, not only from J-Mo, but to J-Mo. So... it's rather serendipitous to that you showed up today, JMO, because I was just thinking about you the other day. I was thinking, gee, I haven't seen the Schmo in quite some time. How does it all you know what? Yes, agreed. I just came back from Taiwan where temperature-wise, in Fahrenheit, it's fairly equal to here. It's in the low hundreds there, subtropical zone, so... But we also have the humidity there going anywhere to 70 to 90 plus percent at any given time. So it's a bit of a relief to come back here, at least humidity wise. It's a dry heat, so they say. Well, yeah, you actually feel that after you come back. Thunder. It wasn't March, so it must have been. I think it was May then, right? Dude, I've been on a bit of a hiatus. Okay, but had to come in when I saw the notification. Sounds like an awesome trip. Yeah, it was. Wow, Nebs, it was really as late as June, huh? June 9th? Okay. Yeah, it was a great trip. Mrs. Thunderhand and the boys usually go out there every year, right around Chinese New Year. Well, I say Chinese New Year. I should say Lunar New Year, to visit her family out there and stuff. I usually go every other year, but now that I'm not working at the school, I'll probably go every year. And this year in particular was a lot of fun. I usually have a good time when I go there. I like to go to Taiwan. People there are really friendly. This time, though, we had a particularly good time there. The boys did too. So, I mean, we're happy to be home. We love our home. We have a really good setup here and stuff. The boys are starting their school, so we had to come back at the time we did. But we had an excellent time there. Yep, because it started on the day my sister got married. That's right. That's right. That's right, Nebs. So, Nebs, when you do resume, what's your plan? You can tell us viewers. It's okay. And it's actually fortunate because even though you're rejoining rather late, we're all pretty advanced in the farms and the resources and stuff. So we should be able to get you caught up very, very quickly. And the Buffoon community on the server is incredible. We're always there for each other. We're always helping each other out with resources, with the labor, everything. So we've got an incredible crew here. All right, let's do that. And this should be doing its thing. And there it goes. Yep. Okay, so... Alrighty. Now, now that that is running, let's head on over here. And we'll load up some pickles, and we'll start putting pickles down. Now, this is a rather monotonous task, but I don't mind doing this stuff on streams because then I don't have to focus too much on it, and I can interact with you guys a little bit easier. It's not like I'm building redstone or something like that, and I have to really focus. Or, we're dealing with mobs or we've got some sort of contest or something going. This is nice. I can just be slapping down the pickles for quite some time, and I can actually give you guys a lot more of my attention. Buffoon-wise, getting geared up and starting building. Probably go exploring a bit and see what people have been up to. Great. JMO, be right back. Yes, definitely. Fairy Tale-wise, and Fairy Tale is Nebs' own server for viewers who are not familiar. Fairy Tale-wise, I'll be showing what I got up to during my time off and planning a few things I want to get done right away. There are some incredible builds that Nebs and Draken have been working on Nebs' server. And, a couple of us have been in there to help her out and give her a hand with some things. And, but I haven't been in there in quite some time. So, I'm sure I am not alone in being on the edge of my seat, literally, waiting to see what you've been up to in there. I will say I'm probably okay in revealing at least this much, that there is, at the very least, an incredible wither skeleton farm that you all just have to witness. Just the scale of it is terrifying in its own right. It really is. I mean, it's quite a feat of Minecraft building. So I really can't wait to see that. And you know what? Let me adjust the phone because I think the missus put the phone on speakerphone and it drives me nuts. Let me kill that. Hold on. There we go. That's better. And if I can get Nova and Oscar back on my world to finish up a couple of things, then we might do a birthday stream next week. Woo! Well, now that I'm back from the trip, I might be able to help you out with a couple of things there as well. So it's not like we have a lot to do today, people. Only this. Now, see, this is where I would like to recruit some help. Now, I was talking to Nova about this the other day, and we were thinking, lighting-wise, as far as getting this lighting effect, I really don't think there's any better way to do this. I think this is the best way to do it, honestly. If I were to go with sea lanterns, because, you're just lighting it up from below, so you don't see the light source. If I were to go with sea lanterns, then I would need a guardian farm. Now, Shelb's built an awesome guardian farm, but, crafting all the lanterns first, then transporting them all over here. And we didn't have a guardian farm when I started, and I wasn't too keen on building one. And so lanterns, I didn't think would be the way to go, really. Glowstone would be a similar kind of thing. I'm certainly not going to mine enough glowstone from the nether to do this. Set up a witch farm. Again, we have an awesome witch farm. We have a double chunk witch farm, as a matter of fact. And but still, even then, retrieving all the glowstone from that, crafting it all into glowstone blocks, and then setting them all down, no. So I was thinking sea pickles, and I was thinking, well, initially I thought, okay, well, I'll mine. Well, I certainly wasn't going to grab all the sea pickles in a reef and just bring them over here, because I would run out almost immediately. I'd strip the reef bare and then have none. Then I was thinking, all right, well, maybe I'll just harvest a whole bunch of coral. Coral, not quarrel. You're looking at the stones for the substrate that I'm laying this down on. Initially, I thought, well, I'll just lay down a whole bunch of coral, put some sea pickles down, and then just bone meal it. But then I thought, well, why should I harvest all that coral? I should do it backwards. I should have one piece of coral and then bone meal it and get all the pickles. So then I made the pickle machine over there. And I think this is the best way to do it. There's shut. I just remembered I didn't even greet them when I logged on. But they're doing the stream, so. I would have Kachi come into the office right now and say hi to you guys, but he's setting up for his viola lesson right now. Plus, we are big Dragon Ball fans in the house here, and in theaters right now still, is the Dragon Ball Super Superheroes movie. And we were waiting that for a long time. Now, we were in Taiwan when it premiered in theaters over here. And so we didn't think we would get back in time to catch it. But Biggie and I came home last week. So we were able to catch it. But Kachi and Mrs. Underhand stayed on in Taiwan for an extra week. And so we were worried that Kachi wouldn't be able to see it. But it's still in the theater here anyway. So Kachi and I are going to be able to catch it today. And maybe Biggie will be able to see it with us. So even though we've seen it already, you know, we want to see it again with Kachi this time, because Kachi is the authority on all things Dragon Ball. Can I ask a weird question? Of course. Shoot, what do you got, Debs? Let's see how weird your question is. Here we go. Why not just place one pickle and then bone meal? Because, as I explained earlier, that only works on coral. It doesn't work on stone. Unless I'm wrong about that, but I don't think so. I think it only works on coral. And then, like I said, you know, I can either mine a whole bunch of coral and completely destroy a reef, or and then bone meal the coral to get the pickles. Spread the pickles over the coral. Or I could just have one piece of coral and then just bone meal that and get all the pickles. So this cuts out a step, actually. So it cuts out the step of placing all the coral, mining all the coral, and then placing it all. And that is not a weird question. That is a perfectly sane and normal question. So I'm a little disappointed. So today's stream, people, will be sea pickles for 2 hours. I probably not 2 hours. Probably not. But I don't know. We're 421. I made some modifications to the Bone Basher too, which is, I think that's pretty cool. But we might hop down and have a look at that. In fact, I have to restock right now, so let's go do that. Oh wait, we can take advantage of Dolphin's Grace and just zip right on over there. Why, thank you, Dolphins. Save on some rockets. Not that we're particularly low on rockets. Thanks to JW. They changed it. That's why I thought it was able to be bone mealed. Yeah. Okay, this is pretty cool, actually. I'm going to take a little time out here so we can look at this. So what I've done with the old Bone Basher is I've made it dual purpose. So we can either come in here and get XP. Right, here's our station. You can see they're spawning right away. They're wasting no time. And this is really cool because I saw another application of this and figured I could use this specifically for this purpose. The mud blocks will allow items to pass through them and directly into hoppers below. And I thought to myself, hey, you know what? I can use that in a particular kind of way to make this dual function. And so this is typical. They land, you whack them, and then the resources go through the mud bricks, which isn't typical, go through the mud bricks, and then they're sorted and whatnot. So we've got that. we've got that. Or we can do this. All right. Let's shut this off for a moment here. And so that'll give you XP if you want to repair your tools and stuff. Or if you don't need the XP and you only have the bones, and we don't have auto clicker here on the Buffooncraft server. And so normally I would have to, if I wanted to AFK, I would have to sit here and whack these guys for however long I need to get the bone meal I need. But this is mostly about getting bones, not really about getting XP. And so I want to be able to AFK at this thing without having to swing the sword all the time. And so I made a separate station over here. If I go like this, it pulls the mud blocks back now, and it allows them to drop an extra block. And so now they'll die completely of the fall damage. And I can just AFK here and just generate the bones. So, and that worked out pretty neat. You know, we got our clocks in place. We got our sorter. Like I said again, I'm really just interested in the bones. So the other items I'm just incinerating. Because I don't really need the other things. Right? And so, yeah, that was pretty cool. It's a pretty easy modification to make, too. So, but that's how I've been getting all the bone meal I need, because, wow, do we need a lot of bone meal, people. We need so much more bone meal than I originally thought. All right, let's get the next batch of pickles. Speaking's hard. All right, here we go. Let's get these guys out of here, and then we'll drag some over from the sea pickle machine. This is nice because I have the one of the other changes I made that you guys may not have picked up on is I've put the beacon. Well, you can see that I've put the beacon under the structure now, and I've also so the beacon's up here on this level here. You can sort of see it. Sort of? No, you definitely can. But below the beacon and below the surface, I've hidden away the conduit down here. And so even though it's below the surface, you still get the conduit effect, as you can see in the upper right hand corner. That's what I'm trying to say. Just as long as it's surrounded by water here, you need the 27 blocks of water around it. But it doesn't have to be submerged in the water in which you're working. And so we still get the conduit effect there. But now it doesn't obstruct the view of the project, so I can... so when I take screenshots and stuff like that, we can still see that. But we get all the conduit effects and everything, which is really cool. That's why I can see under the water here, and I don't have to worry about suffocation damage, drowning, or anything like that. So... very cool indeed. So now we could just place pickles to our heart's content. Our heart was very content probably for the first hour I did this. And now I never want to see a sea pickle again. So I've plotted it out. I've done a little bit of arithmetic, and I think it's going to take us about 71,680 sea pickles for the lighting effect for this ginormous disc that we're making. And this is part one of the base. The disc, it will be part one. And then part two will be a colossal structure that I'm going to build, probably mostly out of iron blocks, that is going to come up out of the disc. So the build will have two major parts. So this is part one. And I am very, very frantic to complete this before the end of the season. And so I'm hoping, at least I can get part one done by the end of the season. Part two should go a lot faster because we don't have this bone meal generation and everything like that. So we don't have to do this with the sea pickles and all of that. This is very, very slow. I'm thinking part 2 is a little bit more difficult as far as block placement will go, but as generating the resources, though, no problem. We just need a lot of iron, and we have a fairly decent iron farm going there, and many of my fellow buffoons have very, very decent iron farms as well. And so I'm not really thinking that part 2 is going to take as much time and effort as part 1 did. But, you know, Buffooncraft, it's build big or go home, and so this is probably the biggest, most difficult thing I've built so far in Minecraft. I'm pretty sure it is. Certainly the most tedious. Well, is it? I think it is. I think this is just about one of the most tedious things I've ever done. Okay, let's get caught up in chat. That's a lot. Yes, indeed it is. Is there talk on when the season will end? Not really, no. I do know one of the that from the outset, Nova and Chris, the prime buffoons, spoke of making sure that the season lasted long enough that we were able to finish builds. So because season 3, I think, was kind of rushed. So this season 4 is the idea is to extend this out, you know, so we can all finish our builds through a number of updates. So we've already been through. Did we update from 1.17 to 1.18? I think so. And then from 1.18 to 1.19. And now 1.19.2. And, you know, a big deal, a big part of that is, there's Chris. Also, howdy, Thunder. Also, a big part of that is just how much of the biomes and stuff are changed with the updates. You know, if it's not too much of a biome change, then I think we can extend the season through this particular update or that, you know, and it's not that big of a deal. Wait, what? Sorry I missed you, Thunder. How goes it? No problem, Shut. No problem. It goeth C. Pickly in the extreme. Typing. And JMO is back. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. On this season, we have gone through all of the 1.19s, yes. I got to name 2 zombies. Anyone want to name them? One of them's got to be some pun on JMO. Either JMO the zombie or Zombie the schmo. That would be my suggestion. And you know what? I hear some knocking at the office door. Kachi might need some help. And so I got to be doing that. So I'm going to do a quick be right back. But I'm going to say hi to Violinity. Hey there, Vi. And I'll be right back. So I'm not going to die there, but I think I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to throw up the be right back screen. So just give me a moment here. There we are, and we are back. Had to help Kachi with his viola lesson and connect with his teacher via Zoom. Okay, so let me get caught up here. I see the mighty Shut Mountain has logged on, my fellow buffoon. Good to see you. Sweet gherkin style or dill pickly? I'm going to say sweet gherkin style only because whenever I try to make puns about pickles with dill, it doesn't work out on the family-friendly stream for me too well. So let me see. Schmombi. Oh, that's a good name for a JMO zombie. Schmombi. Okay, Schmombi it is. And then Shut's going to name one, maybe. And Phelan Etheria. Hey, hello. Hey, welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. Hi yourself. Still need one more name, Thunder. Can't try Nebs, but I'm not that witty. Oh, come on. You're a buffoon. That comes with the territory. It doesn't have to be witty, Shut. Shut Zombie Mountain. Nebs, would you mind doing a shout out for the mighty Shut Mountain? While I resume the sea picklage. I'm pretty sure I right-clicked on those sea pickles. Oh, God. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Shut, I see you've been playing Star Wars The Old Republic. I mean, it mentions that too, but I've also seen you online doing that. What game platform are you playing that on? If you don't mind me asking. Because I know Biggie likes to play that occasionally. And I should remember what it is. But I don't. Oh, you're playing that on PC. Okay. Because we have Xbox and we have PlayStation and Nintendo. And it's like we've got so many of those platforms now. You know, I forget which ones are which as far as the boys, which ones they're playing on. So, and I know Biggie's not playing that on the PC though. I know he's using a console for it. I just don't recall which one. And how are we doing over here? I think we're doing okay here. Goody. Let's just pull them right from here. Thusly. And let me see. We're at 440 and we only have this much done. I don't know, people. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this or not. This is so annoying that I go into swim mode and then I can't stand. There we go. All right. There we go. So many sea pickles, everyone. So many sea pickles. I never want to see sea pickles again. Throat's kind of dry here, too. Excuse me. So, JMO, if you're still there, what is the last thing that you were streaming before your hiatus? And I hear the office door again. So here, let me go see what's going on there. I don't think I have to do the be right back though. Let's see. All right. Streaming my medieval ring city with CCI. Yes, just been super busy with work. I miss streaming for sure. Actually, I am going to have to do a be right back. I'm still trying to troubleshoot Kachi's viola lesson, and so I'm going to have to take care of that. So it's going to be another be right back. Okay. All right. Trying to stream. All right, let us try this again. Let me see. I've missed so much during my break, so I'm trying to get caught up. Be right back. Yes. Welcome back, Thunder. Thank you. So let me see. Dr. Moist 2. Anyone know the IP? Yes. And Nebula private server? Yes. Not a public server. Welcome to the stream, though. Oh, sweet. Hope I can catch you. Honestly, can't wait for you to see the finished towers. Yes. For JMO's medieval ring city. Let's get that out of there. And Neb says she's going to tour the server when she gets back. I guess this is where I left off. Not that it really matters. I mean, it all has to be covered anyway. One way or another. Let me see, is it nighttime up here? Nope, it's daytime. It's hard to tell with the conduit effect because it lights up the sea within its sphere of influence. And so sometimes when I'm down here, I don't know whether it's night or day. Here we go. Yes, Kachi and Mrs. Thunder are struggling with the online viola lesson, communicating back and forth with the teacher. Mrs. Thunderhand, for some reason, doesn't like to communicate with her directly. And so she feels she has to relay everything through me, which is so annoying. But, you know, that's the way she wants to do it, so... All right, here we go. So this takes a lot of AFK to get these resources. A lot of AFK. So most of my time on the Buffooncraft server lately has just been AFK either at the pickle machine or at the bone meal machine. The bone basher. The boon basher. So both the boys have started up their school. Their school season has started, as with most of our younger viewers. Biggie is starting his senior year. Would you look at this? Out. Out. Biggie has started his senior year, which is really exciting for us. Especially now he's getting into some of his more interesting math. This is his first calculus class, and that's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. More fun for me than for him, probably, but I hope to make it fun for him. And he's got a computer science class this year, which is really fun. And also his second year physics class, too. And then it's all the college stuff, college applications, that whole process. And so it's going to be a very, very big year for Biggie. Varsity basketball this year and stuff, so second year of varsity basketball. Because he made the varsity team on his junior year. So that's going to be a lot of fun, too. It's going to be a very busy year. And then Kachi, we're kind of up in the air with Kachi. He's still doing his school online. We're trying to get him into his an on-site school with live human beings and stuff. And so it's a matter of transferring from his online school to his on-site school. Well, we just don't know which school it's going to be yet. It's a really cool Chinese immersion STEM school over in Diamond Bar, but... I'm not 100% sure of that right now, so. How many rockets have I wasted by misfiring on the middle click? Yeah, the sea pickles are weird because sometimes I go to select them and I get the border area in between them instead. And so it's a false select with a middle scroll wheel button. There we go. All right, work that time. Thank you, Hans, for your cooperation. But it's good to see all of you guys again. Even before I left on my trip, you know, everybody has been doing different things and taking breaks and going off to different places and stuff. And I've missed you all terribly. So it's great to see all of you guys again. This last Generations stream on Tuesday, I had to stream it a little bit later than I normally do. I had switched the schedule to stream it from 12 to 2, and I was really liking that time slot. That seemed like it was a really popular time slot, and I was able to get a lot of our viewing friends who are in time zones east of me, and so it's really cool to see all those guys again. But this last one I had to stream again at around 4, only because the jet lag really clobbered me this week. You know, it was really strange because the jet lag is the time difference between here and where I'm at in Taiwan is 15 hours. And my first week back, I thought the adjustment was going to be pretty easy. I didn't really feel the jet lag too much at all or anything, but wow, do I feel it this week. Which is kind of strange. Usually I feel it right away. It's the most difficult for the first, or initially, and then it gets easier and easier as, you know, the time goes on, right? But this time it doesn't seem to be working that way. This time it seems to be, the first week was very easy, and now the second week is where I'm feeling it the most. And I usually feel it right around between noontime and 4. Kachi and Mrs. Thunderhand are feeling it right now as we speak. Yep, we're about to, the sun's going down over there in the west. And then we can get a nighttime view of this again. You know, plus I like to fly up there, not just for that, but just to double check, get an overview of the scene and everything, make sure I'm not missing anything. By the way, ambition-wise, let me see. If you were still in Taiwan, you would be just getting up right about now. Yeah, so the easy way to do the arithmetic is just switch AM with PM and then add 3, right? And so it's almost 5 a.m. in the morning over there, so 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning there. And then if you're there, switching back, it's switch AM and PM and subtract 3, and then you're good. But let me see. Yeah, let's get up to the observation point here. Let's see if I can hit this. My flying skills have been off lately, by the way. Yeah, see, like that. Yeah, that was a complete fail. I have no idea what happened to my flying skill. It's only been 3 weeks. Yeah, when I'm in Taiwan, I can't play Minecraft at all. I have no PC set up there or anything, so. All right. So you can see with that middle section, the glow effect that I'm trying to get on that. And so I was hoping that I would be able to finish this during this session, but there's been so many interruptions, and it's 5 o'clock now. Well, just about 5 o'clock. We're about an hour in. So I'm thinking I'll probably be able to get, hopefully, the sea pickles laid in. But let's do this. So this is the guide that I'm using. So the grid pattern I've set up is each one of the red squares is a block, and the blue squares is they're chunks. And so what I do is I transpose the image over this, and then I lay in the squares on top of that, and that gives me an idea of where to place the blocks. And so you can see this section is the section that we're working on now. And so this is what I use for a guide for my block placement. So you know what? I may do a little bit of, well, I don't know. I don't have to do any sleeping because we've got the conduit. The good thing about the conduit is it keeps the mobs away as well. So we can just work right through the night here. Usually I'm pretty diligent about sleeping. Let's take a look. Have you done any thinking on what you would like to do on your floor thunder? Honestly, Shut, I haven't. I've been so focused on this that I haven't really been thinking about that. Also, I want to do something either very, very cool or very, very silly or both. So I have been considering it, but I haven't come up with anything yet. So for those of you who don't know, Shut Mountain did a recreation of the Twin Towers. And Tower 1 is filled with his farms. But Tower 2, he rented out the floors or leased out the floors or whatever. Gave up the floors, or however you want to say it, to each one of us buffoons. And Dostovodka just did a resub. Thank you so much, and good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Me little droogie. But as I was saying, Shut leased out the floors to each one of us. And so we can do whatever we want with our floor. I am floor number 9. And so I haven't thought of anything to do on my floor yet, but I would like it to be something very silly. 11 months. Woo! Thank you so much for the resub. How have you been? How are things going this evening? You and the little family over there? And let me see. Where am I at here? Okay, yeah, I think I have to re-cue the music here. There we go. And that doesn't surprise me because we are halfway through the stream right now. We stream 4 to 6. It is now 5 o'clock. That also means it's time to switch to standing mode. Shut Mountain, I would have loved to hear your response, but Twitch decided that was ad time for me. Oh, sorry. So, Shut, no, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet on that, but I would like it to be something very silly, very cool, or both. So it's just nothing's come to mind yet, you know, probably because I've been focusing on this. But I will say this, when I do come up with something, clearly you'll be the first to know. I know probably if I rush to do it now, it's not going to be that as good as I would like it. Especially when some of the other buffoons put in their floors, and then afterwards I'm going to be thinking, you know, oh, I did this, but what I really wanted to do was that. And so, you know, if I take my time on it a little bit here, you know, I can think of the very first thing I would want to do right away. So. Because if that's Shut Mountain's build, I got to do something significant in there. I just can't put crap in there. That's what I should do, right? A whole floor of crap. So many cocoa beans. No, I'm kidding. I'll do something better than that. I promise. I'm sure whatever you do will be awesome. See, now I've got a pressure to produce there. You don't have to tell me what your idea is when you come up with it. I was just wondering if you thought about it. It seems like you have somewhat. Yeah, since you informed me of that during my vacation, I was thinking a little bit about it when I was over there in Taiwan, but I just haven't come up with anything yet. Like I said, I want to do something particular for that. So instead of just doing any old thing just to get it done. And Nebs, if you're still there, if you wouldn't mind giving Dustavochka a shout out. Uh-oh. I guess we were booted from the server for some reason. Hey, Shot, I saw that you were on there as well when I was on there. Did you get booted? Or is that a me thing over here? Okay, it says I'm back. Let's try this. This did happen yesterday to me as well, so. And thank you so much for that shout out. Okay, so that must have been a server thing. Because Shut just rejoined as well. Server restart. Yeah, but usually we get an announcement, right? Did we get the announcement and I just didn't see it? Probably. So that's a feature of our server, it does a restart. I think it's every 8 hours. It'll do a restart just to reset things and keep things running smoothly. Sometimes we see the message. Sometimes we don't. But it doesn't surprise me because it's on the hour, right? So we probably saw the message at 5 when I was switching to standing mode. Yeah, we got a 2-minute warning. I'm sure we did. I just didn't see it. And Nebs, is the server at 19.2? Yes, it is. 1.18.2. And then Dustavochka says, sorry, I'm driving. I'm not in chat yet. But hi, everyone. Please be careful when you drive, okay? Please don't feel the need to respond. Eyes on the road, me little droog. With a correction, sorry, 19.2. 1.19.2. And then Deb says, okay, guys, I just updated all my stuff to 19.2. Unfortunately, the OptiFabric isn't up to 19.2. Optifine is, though. But OptiFabric, I don't think, is up there yet. Which is making a better case for sodium. I try not to be too critical because it's free and they do a lot of work on it, and we shouldn't complain, but that's why my graphics are also minimal right now. Okay, we're getting down into the lower parts. And let me see, F3 and G. I actually keep the chunk borders on it. It helps me gauge my progress when I have the chunk borders on. So we're into these 3 chunks here, and then we have these. We've got a full chunk here, but the other 2 are partials down there. So what is going on? Please, just let me place the pickles. It's slow enough already. Yes, it is. OptiFabric is updated now. Oh, great. It's about I just got it last night when I updated. I wouldn't have updated if all my mods hadn't been updated. Blast mining is dangerous. Ooh, so that's what you're up to. You guys can see Shuts on the server with me right now. Are you blast mining in the nether for netherite? Probably not, right? Or are you blast mining out that perimeter that you were building for the memorial area? I remember my last stream I was over at your place. You were working on that, so. There we go. Pickle inventory has been restocked. And back to placing more pickles. The good thing about this, though, is it's not dangerous at all. I don't have to worry about drowning. No mobs at all. It's just tedious. Nope, in the hole. Still in the first hole, I'm at negative 27 right now. Okay. Going down to bedrock, are you? Please say no. Only because I empathize. Yes. Oof. Ark. On the musical side of things, while I was in Taiwan, I went and bought myself a bass over there, so I could keep one in there over there, so I could work while I'm over there. And it's a cool little bass, so I made myself a little music setup over there in Mrs. Thunderhand's mom's other apartment. And so it's cool. I was able to get some music written over there and stuff. And some of the equipment I bought there, I brought back with me because it's just too good. So I'm making a little portable kind of studio that I can bring around with me. And it may involve me committing the cardinal sin of getting a laptop. I am not a fan of laptops at all, but I usually just bring my iPad over there, but the iPad is just too limiting. So I might have to get myself a laptop just for traveling so I can work while I travel. I do not like laptops at all. But there's really no way around it, so I may have to set myself up with one of those. There is nothing wrong with laptops. There is, so many things wrong with laptops. For me, anyway. But I am going to knuckle down and get myself one, so. Let's rephrase that. There is nothing wrong with other people owning laptops. There is a lot wrong with me owning laptops. I think that's a better way to put it. I streamed from my laptop, remember? Yes, I do. There's nothing wrong with you owning a laptop. Me owning a laptop, though, there's a lot wrong with that. I actually haven't streamed from my desktop since I've gotten it. Do you plan to, or are you going to stick with your laptop? Not that I approve or disapprove one way or another, because that's entirely up to you, but... I think you would actually have to try the PC before you could really answer me there, though, right? Just to see what it's like, so you can make a decent comparison. Why am I doing that? I have to place it there anyway. I should just leave it there. Ok. There we go. Okay, so that chunk is done. So I think I'm just going to proceed chunk by chunk here. Only because you think there is. I gave my laptop to one of my boys, so when I start streaming again, it will be from my desktop. I started with a Frankenstein setup of laptop, console, and desktop. So Shut has done it all. It's only been PC for me, although... You know, I do use the iPad for different functions. Like right now I'm using it for the music. Some of you may remember when I was using that for my secondary monitor. And that was tough. It was better than nothing, but it was tough. Although, from an episode of Linus Tech Tips, there is a company of which I forget their name right off the bat, but they make upgradable, configurable laptops, and that's my main beef with the laptop. But they make modular laptops, which are really cool. And so I suppose if I have to get a laptop, it's going to be something like that. I just forget the brand name. I guess I could post it in Discord, but... I think if you go into YouTube, though, and you put Linus Tech Tips and laptop upgrade or upgradable, you'll probably come up with the video. And let me see. I live stream from the painting on my phone. Yes. I had to send game to desktop to capture. Oh, using the capture card probably, right? In OBS, and then watch chat on laptop because nothing was capable of doing all at the same time. Yeah, and you know that's a big part of streaming, right? Is it's a hodgepodge of different technologies, right? And that's what makes it particularly difficult. Dvochka, I did try to do a stream on my phone from Taiwan. I tried to do a stream from the Botanical Gardens, which is their Central Park. And Mrs. Thunderhand's father's apartment is very close to that. And so I did try to do a stream one morning from there. And even though from the Twitch side, it looked like everything was streaming fine, I did notice almost right away that I didn't get a going live notification, and so it wound up never going through, but I didn't know it until after the stream. So I tried to do a 1 hour live stream, and it's too bad because that would have been a pretty cool stream too. So I walked through all the trails, the Botanical Gardens. They have all kinds of tropical plants and animals and everything that they keep there and they reserve there and stuff. And plus they have some old structures there that they maintain and everything. And it's a really cool place. The thing I like about it is there's a lot of foliage coverage there. And so I get a break from the sunlight, and it's pretty cool there and stuff, temperature-wise. Especially in the morning when I go for my walk there, so. But that stream was a fail. And I think the reason why it failed is bandwidth-wise. What we had to do is we had to swap out our phone SIM cards, and so I was using the one provided for us, and I don't think the cellular data was the bandwidth on it was just hefty enough to stream. And since I was outdoors, I couldn't just log on to a Wi-Fi, so I think that's what happened. Yeah, it's weird on mobile because you have to go into Stream Manager and do the go live manually. Yeah, and you know what? All of that seemed to have gone well. But like I said, I just don't think I had the cellular data bandwidth. So just looking at it from the phone, it looked like everything was going fine. But I did suspect that it wasn't going through. I didn't get the going live notification or any of that. So it didn't wind up going through. So there I was walking through the botanical gardens, talking to myself for an hour. Crazy Maygoran. American, right? So, but at least I had my phone up in front of me the whole time, so I guess people understood that I was streaming. And even if they didn't, that still worked out well because then they wouldn't come up and talk to me. But I could have streamed if I had some an available Wi-Fi nearby, though. I think you guys would have really liked that too. It wound up being a pretty funny stream, actually. Mrs. Thunderhand's father usually goes out for his morning walk there, and so I ran into him there and stuff. And it was, and you would have gotten to hear me converse or struggle to converse in Chinese there, which is always funny. Thunderhand speaking Chinese is always funny. Let me see. Dater. Yeah, that's my New England accent. Hey, let's have some pizza and soda. And some beer. Yeah, it's probably going to get clipped. But yeah, that makes things tough on mobile, yeah. Goals, though. Yeah, indeed. Best convos are with myself in gardens, too. You're just saying that to make me feel better. Made it home safe. Yeah, I was hoping that was the case, and you weren't carrying on this in your car whilst attempting to drive. You know, that's one thing that I really enjoy about Taiwan is the public transportation, the mass transit. You know, it's so awesome there. It's clean. It's inexpensive. It's highly accessible. I don't have to drive when I'm there. It's awesome. As a person who hates driving because I live in LA, it is awesome to not have to drive. Taxi, bus, subway, bullet train. It's so awesome. So easy to use. Super clean. People are great too, you know. Nobody bothers you. Everybody's minding their own business. um, mindfulness of others. It's just great. Part of people not bothering you, though, is because I look like this. And I'm a big, scary-looking foreigner when I go there, so no one wants to talk to me. Which is kind of nice in a way. But people there are really, really friendly, though. I'm very anti-texting and driving. Good. That's good to hear. Public transportation is great. It is so awesome. It really is. Makes me sad it's not used more in America because we are such a large country. Yeah. And we're so automobile orientated, right? Fixated, I should say. Fixated is a better word. And maybe it's not for everywhere, especially in more rural areas. But, when you live in a city like Los Angeles, in the surrounding area, it's really, really disappointing that there's inadequate public transportation here, really. I mean, you go to the other large cities in Boston, like D.C., New York, Boston. See yas. Caps unintended. But when I go to Boston, I can ride the T. I can go anywhere I want there. You don't need to drive. In fact, driving, when you get in a city like Boston or Taipei or stuff, driving is actually a problem. It's really expensive. It's hard to find parking. Ugh. Got a little Dolphins Grace action there. Plus, I'm older now, and I just don't have the patience for driving anymore. It's nice to just be able to kick back and let somebody else do it. I know the New York City subway like the back of my hand. I'm sure you do. I've got a lot of friends from New York. The last time I was there, though, was way back in 2005. And wouldn't you know it, when our family was there, the subway employees were on strike, and all the subways were shut down. The big subway strike of 2005. Right when we decided to visit. Thankfully, we were only there for about 2 days, I think. Was it 2 days or 3? I think it was only 2. I was on my way back to visit my family in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, and so I swung into Boston swung into New York to see a couple of my friends there. So. Some of my Irish American friends, and we went and did a little pub hopping while we were there. Be right back, call. Okay, back. Wow, that was a fast call. Must have been a solicitor. Yeah, this past trip to Taiwan was a lot of fun. I usually have a good time there, but this time in particular was really great. It's nice because we're not like 100% dependent on Mrs. Thunderhand now. We can go out on our own. My Chinese is pretty good where I go out on my own often. But now that Biggie's older, his Chinese is really good now. At least his speaking and listening is. His reading and writing still isn't that good. But his speaking and listening is. And so the two of us, when we're out together, we can go anywhere and do whatever we want. And I would say about just about 50% of everybody there speaks English anyway. They learn it from a very young age. And even the people who don't speak English that well, they can speak English good enough, and I can speak Chinese good enough where we can usually communicate and get done what needs to get done. So it was Ray. Okay. Tell him I said hi. Well, you've already hung up, so. He's on his way home from his second job, Hawk. God bless him. Yeah, so we can go out on our own a lot there now. Like I said, and I'm pretty good at figuring out things just by logic too. Even when I don't understand it, when people are speaking to me, I can use logic and pretty much figure out what they're talking about anyway. You can guess what they're saying with most of the basic stuff. Like when I went to 7-Eleven there to go pick up some groceries and stuff, I got a 1 liter bottle of drink there, and so ringing it up, and so the woman behind the counter rolls off a whole bunch of stuff very rapidly in Chinese. And I could pick up most of it about the other items, but she was saying something about the drink, about the 1 liter drink. And I couldn't pick it up. And it's getting harder for me in a way, too, because my hearing's bad because I'm getting old, right? Because I've worked in factories and played in bands, and so my hearing's getting bad. So even if they're speaking clearly, most of the time it's just I can't hear them well because I'm deaf in that range. But especially the higher pitch voices, I can't hear well. But guitar players, that's all guitar players' fault. But she's saying something about the 1 liter drink, and I couldn't figure out what it is. But she's holding up 2 fingers. And so I'm looking down at it, and just by logic, you can figure it out. You know, it's a 2-for-1 sale, right? And so then I say, oh yeah. Mayo guanchi, it's okay. You know, I just want the one, you know, eBay, just one. And so, you know, things like that, you can pretty much figure out because it's a store transaction. So what are the possible responses that you could get? You know, and so you can pretty much guess what they're talking about most of the time. When I was younger and much more approachable looking, I would get people come up and try out their English on me, though. I would get that a lot. No, not so much nowadays because I guess I'm scarier looking and stuff now. Or they figure that I'm old, you know, and I don't know how to speak Chinese, which is handy sometimes, actually, that assumption. But I did get that a couple of times on the trip. People want to try out their English. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. And you? 你好,你好吗?我很好,你呢? And they're almost always surprised when I reply. Some of them look in absolute horror, though, when they realize you can speak Chinese. They're like, ugh. And that never gets old. That's always funny. Let me see. It's helpful knowing some of the language of the country when you visit. I could read most French when I was in Quebec. Yeah, I got to use context clues, yeah. I know a lot of people who don't know what those are. even in English, right? But Quebec, how many times have you been up there? Because, and of course, you're talking about the French speaking areas, right? Like Montreal. I used to go up to Montreal a lot because I lived in New Hampshire, so it was only like a 4-hour drive up there. And so many a weekend in Montreal, partying on St. Catherine Street. Oh, I've got so many stories about that. Most of which are not family friendly. But good times up there. I have a lot of friends in Montreal. I haven't been to Toronto, though, because that's a bit further a drive for us. That's like Toronto's like 6, sometimes 7 hours, depending on. And I didn't really know anybody in Toronto at that time when I was living in New Hampshire, so knew a lot of folks from Quebec. In New Hampshire, in the mill towns of New Hampshire and southern New Hampshire, there's a lot of Canadian expats there. In fact, the whole west side of the city of Manchester, where I used to live, is known as the French area, because there's a lot of Canadian French on the west side over there. So I still remember most of my French, most of my rudimentary French. Français. But most of it's inappropriate because, again, factory worker, right? So, yeah, Montreal and Quebec City. I've been up there like 6 or 8 times. Some of my friends were from a smaller area, east, maybe a little bit south of Montreal, called Trois-Rivières, Three Rivers. And I used to go up there a lot. Let me see. It's 5:33, and we've made this kind of progress. I think we're doing okay. We might make it. If we don't make it by the end of the stream, we're going to be very close. I've gotten almost all of the French I learned at school. Oh. So you must have had the Catholic nuns, the French Catholic nuns teaching you, right? My tablet is getting on my nerves. Be right back. You know, we may actually run out of pickles before we're before the end of the stream. Probably, because I'm looking at those chunks over there and those ones there, and I think we might not have enough. Even though I was on here most of last night. Well, actually not last night. No, that was the night before. But I did come on in the morning to stock up on resources. But I was pretty busy this morning, actually, and I didn't really get a lot of time in here. Usually before I do this kind of stream, I like to come on and build up as many resources as I can before I get on here. But the amount that we need is just so ridiculous, though. It's really hard to put in the AFK time. Which is why I had to make those modifications to the Bone Basher down there and stuff. So it's as automated as possible so I can get it started, and then I can do other things around the house here. Nuns, Catholic? No. Well, I guess I shouldn't have made that assumption, but in the Northeast there, you know, almost all of the Catholic schools have French nuns in them. We were talking about that too, so that's why my brain made that erroneous connection. A lot of my French-speaking friends, you know, went to those Catholic schools, so. But I guess in your area, though, more of them would be Irish than they would be Canadian. Although, I don't know. There's a lot of my New York friends who got their French from the French Catholic nuns in their Catholic schools. Got to start doing some work from home. Still listening, but I have nothing interesting to talk about. I find that a little hard to believe, but. My dad went to a Catholic school when he was younger. He was from New York, yeah. There's still a lot of them there. I was decent at Spanish while I was in school, enough to get by talking with some people at a drag race. Cars are not popular, not people. But I've forgotten so much now. he was awful in public school when he was older. Yes. So yeah, with language, you really have to use it. Um, Biggie did a particularly good job this trip to Taiwan. He was very, very useful, and it's a parent's dream because he was so put off learning Chinese in his Chinese schools when he was younger, and but now he really appreciated it this last trip because now you're not learning it in a classroom. Now you're immersion, and now you get to use it. And he really resented that when he was younger, but during this trip, he really appreciated it. In fact, he was really enjoying using it and being able to comprehend and stuff. He really liked that. And that made him very, very helpful. And so he was really appreciating the attention. Kachi is struggling a lot, though. He doesn't have the advantages that Biggie had when Biggie was younger. So Kachi was really struggling. In fact, I think my Chinese is probably better than Kachi's right now. I've always, in public school, assumption is fine. I mean, I was baptized Roman Catholic, so it wasn't that far of a stretch. Oh, okay, I got lucky. Bilingual is a great skill to have. Glad he appreciated it. That's so awesome. Yeah, yeah. Because usually they just resent it, right? You'd think he'd have enjoyed it more as a kid since half of his family speaks it. No, in fact, that's exactly why they resent it. Almost all immigrants who come over here, their kids really, really resent speaking the parents' language. Almost all of them, almost everyone that I've met, strongly resents it, and he resented it a lot. But at least he came around this trip and stuff, and so he's grateful now. But Biggie and Kachi, they're really good kids. I would just ask him to hang in there, and I would promise him, you got to trust me on this. You're really going to need that later on and stuff. But he's a good kid. The trust is there. So, in fact, Kachi and Biggie are trilingual because they have English, of course, that's their first language, and they have Chinese, but they also learn Spanish in school. So they have the task of learning 3 languages, and that's really tough. The code switching between 3 languages like that is brutal. So I think they do remarkably well considering that. Glad Kachi and Mrs. Thunderhand made it back safe. Thanks. Yeah, that was a really turbulent ride for them coming home. There's a lot of turbulence, especially about halfway through the flight. So there was quite a bit of turbulence on Biggie and I's flight last week, but not too bad. That doesn't really bother us, but and Kachi and Mrs. Thunderhand, they're okay with it. They're none of us have like the fear of flying or anything. We don't have that, but it just makes it hard for them to sleep on the plane, This trip, though, I noticed that they changed the flight patterns on this trip. Usually it's 14 hours there and 10 hours back. But this time, EVA Airlines, they changed the flight pattern, and so it's 12 hours there and 12 hours back. And actually, we had crosswinds in LA, which is really unusual. And so they had to make a second attempt at landing, which almost never happens here. We're getting there, people. On to the next chunk. And let me see, 542. I don't think we're gonna make it. Come on. There we go. That's better. And I think I'll do a little sleeping to reset the day here over at the AFK spot. Ouch for learning that many languages. Yeah, it's tough, you know. So when people get frustrated with them, you know, whether it's their, you know, for speaking Spanish or Chinese or even English, you know, I have to remind people, you know, they are learning 3 languages, people. So cut them a little slack. That's a lot. But like I was saying earlier, you know, you have to be in an immersive situation. You know, just being in a classroom or learning it out of a book isn't enough, you know. You can get started that way, but Nebs, it's like you're saying, you know, if you don't use it, you know, you definitely lose it. So got to replenish the rocket supplies here. And you know what? Let's make a little room here for some stuff. Ooh, down to our last stack of rockets, everyone. Gonna have to go over to my buddy Jay's shop and go replenish the rocket supply. Which isn't a problem because we're so filthy rich with diamonds. Uh-oh. How did that happen? There we go. I've wanted to learn sign language. Yeah, sign language is fascinating. I've been teaching myself sign, Dostoevsky, lots of YouTube and TikTok. Nebs, if I wasn't so busy between work, overtime with my kiddo, I would study more. I know some, but nothing is helpful. TikTok has helped me a lot because I watch a lot of deaf kid TikTok and passive learning. That helps me. If I see a sign that really intrigues me, then I'll work on learning that sign. Biggie actually learned a lot of sign language when he was young. There was a show that we used to watch called Signing Time with Alex and Leah. And Biggie learned a lot of that when he was a little guy. Kachi learned a little bit. He started to learn some, but Biggie learned a lot. And so the woman who put that whole TV series together and video series together and everything is from this area. And we went out. We met her, actually, out in Hollywood when Biggie was a little guy, when he was not so Biggie. But yeah, we actually learned quite a bit of sign language when he was young because that was a popular thing to do back then is start kids out with sign language before they learned how to verbally speak. And it worked pretty good with Biggie. He was able to communicate quite a few things. But they say, you know, it helps to activate the brain more when you're younger and things like that. That's pretty neat. Gonna have to search for some sign language accounts on TikTok. Not so Biggie. Ooh, if you ever heard me call him Not So Biggie. Yeah, I don't know if it's still such a popular movement now to teach the kids sign language. The pre-speakers. But that was quite a popular thing to do back in the day. Plus, you know, they would go to Gymboree too, and Gymboree used that as well. They incorporated a lot of sign language in their activities and stuff. Well, we are definitely going to run out of pickles. And we are also going to run out of time too. So what I was hoping to do is get down to the point where I could finish one of these 9 chunk sections in a day. Guess what? I can't. So I think the rate at which I could go here, you know, I do them about 9 chunks at a time, but if I were to break it down into daily production, it'll probably work out to be about 1 chunk a day. If I did nothing else and just focused solely on this. And I mean nothing else in the server either, so. I could probably bang out about 1 chunk a day, which is probably what I should do, but, you know, I get ambitious because it is Buffooncraft, people. It is Buffooncraft. There's an expectation. So then once all the sea pickles are down, we put the layer of quartz and andesite with the glow lichen accents. And that's the process. The long and tedious process. But I did try all of this out in creative first before I started building in here to try to come up with the best way to do it. And like I said, I don't think there's really any faster way to get this and to get that particular kind of glow effect. Okay, so all of those chunks are done. Now these chunks are just partial chunks, but well, this one isn't. This is a full chunk. And then I've got the 2 partial chunks on the perimeter. Yes, it's still a big thing, the signing, yep. I want to see how much you've done from above. That's a lot of pickles. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me earlier, Devotchka, but the whole build is going to require 71,680 sea pickles. We'll take a look from above, definitely when the stream ends, which will be in 10 minutes. Also, while we were in Taiwan, we got a lot of medical stuff done, medical exams mostly, checkups and things like that. Because the medical system over there is so much better. It's so good. Again, highly accessible. For Mrs. Thunderhand, Biggie, and Kachi, they're citizens, so they get the free healthcare over there. And the quality is great. And so, and even though mine's not free, it's very inexpensive. So any major stuff that we need to get done, we usually go over there to get it done. That's it. And I don't think we have any more. I think that was the last of whatever I was able to grab. Come on. Let me fly, please. Come on. There we go. Oh no, we still have a row to go here. There we go. This is the last of them. You can see from above, though, right there, how much we've finished. Still a lot. We made a lot of progress. We made a lot of progress today. Which is encouraging because I'm so concerned that I'm not going to be able to finish this build this season. And I'm so sick of unfinished builds. I've really had it with not being able to finish builds. Which is nobody's fault but mine, really, but it is a goal of mine to actually finish a build. And especially on Buffooncraft. If I had $1 for every sea pickle, oh, tell me about it. Pickles on the seafloor. This is why I know that you used to be able to bone meal pickles and not on coral blocks. Yeah, back in the day before they nerfed it. Which is, you think, why would they make that change? And why did they make that change before I decided to do this? Yeah, he mentioned it earlier, and I even tested it in my world, and it didn't work anymore. Yeah. Well, you can imagine, if that were possible, I would be doing it. I did do a lot of this in creative. I did a lot of testing in creative before I started this project. That's unfortunate. Highly unfortunate, yes. Yeah, most of the builders agree with me that there's really no better way of doing this. So I pretty much nailed it the first time, which is, I'm grateful that I didn't overlook anything. One thing I did kind of overlook, though, is I vastly underestimated the amount of bone meal that this would require. I knew it would take a lot, but I didn't think it would slow me down that much. And it has. Bone meal, people. Bone meal. I am scrounging and begging for bone meal from all of the buffoons. All the time. And that's it. That's what we have. We're going to have to be set. Oh, good. It's nighttime, too, so we can take the... we can grab a screenshot. I probably won't post this screenshot, though, because I like to have the features in place before I make a screenshot. But we can end the stream from up here, looking on down. I'm getting sleepy. Holding out till you finish the stream. Yeah, we're finishing the stream right now, Nebs. Let's get the chunk borders off. Let's do an F1. And that's what we got. Whew. So we're almost finished. We're almost finished that whole chunk to the left there. There's a whole chunk to the right, and then we have those 4 partial chunks, which add up to be almost 2 chunks. So that's a lot of work. Poppies from the iron farm to make bone meal for the pickle farm. Yeah, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, but it's such a slow process with the composters. But not a bad idea. Looking good. All right, let's log out here. That's a good place to end the stream. And let's take a quick look. Let's see if any of our friends are on right now. and see if we want to. Oh, yeah. Well, our good friend Kumakwa is on right now, so we are definitely going to raid him because it's been a while since I've seen the old Potu. So let's do that. So I'm going to set up the raid for my good friend Kamakwa. PG-13ish with the language, but an excellent, excellent guy. And, a lot of fun, very funny dude. Let me see, what's he streaming right now? It looks like Steelers Sing. So let's go check out our good friend Kamakwa. Thank you everybody for dropping by the stream here. Our next stream will be Sunday for Kachi time. First Kachi time in quite some time. And then the following stream will be Tuesday. That'll be a generation stream. And we'll probably do some Baby Zombie Rush design stuff for that Tuesday stream. All right, let's cue this up. So there's the raid message. You can cut and paste that into the chat if you would like to join us. And we are kicking off the raid to Kamakwa. Bye for now, everybody.